they're reading along with me.
On that trifold brochure?
Yes, on the brochure.
You know what would be great to do is do a, what do you call it, a mock year, I'm the
You make a role play?
do a role
Yeah,
play.
we've done that before, but we need to do it again. We did it before you came on board, yeah.
Is it taped? I can watch
Mhm.
it? Oh,
It's one of the movies that we want you to watch.
oh, okay.
On
Videos.
Chip's listing presentation, I didn't go back and watch it, but I don't remember him going into detail about that, and I could be wrong.
He didn't go into detail about the agency.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Okay, the next story, you ready for the next story?
Yes, I am. I'm going to edit it myself rather than piece it, because, see, that was a little discussion about agency, which is
Okay.
good. Okay.
Okay, let's see, let's go next. Randy, you want to go next?
I can go next.
Okay.
Well, the story I'm about to tell is not a recent story, but I think it's important as a real estate agent to be aware that so many things can happen. And just like fishing stories and hunting stories are all declared true, anything can happen, and I almost want to write a book on this. This one listing had all these series of events that included the listing interview, of course, tenants, contracts, leases, assault, suicide, evictions, courts, probate, home inspections, buyer attitudes, cell phones. All these things happen in one transaction, so I think I can get it under 10 minutes.
Wow.
For Muslim couple, Asian couple, elderly, he had been diagnosed with leukemia, and he had a townhouse that he wanted to sell. It was an investment property for him. He lived in a condominium in Fairfax County, Tyson's Corner area, but he had this townhouse. So we got a listing interview and got the listing, and it was a nice little townhouse, and shortly thereafter, a formal model townhouse, we got a contract. Well, inside the townhouse were two families, essentially, a husband and a wife that ran a restaurant, and a Chinese restaurant, Oriental restaurant. And then there was another lady there that was, so typically up in Virginia area, a lot of people lived in the same house. So anyway, we had discussed with them that we were going to be showing the house for sale and to please be accommodating to the people that came to look at the house. And sure enough, got a contract. Well, the contract asked for a home inspection, radon inspection, so the day of the home inspection, everybody shows up and we're not allowed in the house. Oh, okay, so let's reschedule. We didn't make a big deal out of it. Perhaps there was a language barrier, somebody didn't say the right thing, so we scheduled for the following week. Well, I accompanied the owners, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. He's got leukemia, he's very weak, so he stays up in the parking lot for a main entry level to a townhouse. Mrs. Seller and I go downstairs where she had a key because nobody was answering the door again. So we let ourselves in. I said, Mrs. Seller, this is your home. Please, you enter first, and I'll come in behind you. Well, she comes running back out, says she threw a chair at me.
Oh, gee, wow.
Okay. Yeah, and they were little Walmart plastic chairs, for decks that are very light, so it really wasn't that heavy. So I said, all right, let me go in there. So I start going up the basement steps. Here comes a chair flying at me. So I catch it. And she's throwing the rest of them down there, so I'm just kind of blocking them up there. I said, now please calm down. So we get up in there, Mrs. Sellers behind me, and this Oriental young lady, or middle-aged lady, has just got her leash. She's just going off, and I don't understand a word she's saying. Mr. Seller comes in from the parking lot, very tired with his leukemia symptoms, lays down on the couch with his feet up on her, and she's there beating on him with the leash. And I don't know what they're talking about. So I said, Mrs. Seller, look, we need to get this home inspection done a second time. Why don't we call the police, say you've been assaulted, and we'll get a police officer here, get her out. This is Prince William County, so they do this all the time. And we get the inspection done. So the police department couldn't understand the lady because she was heavy accented with Asian. So I get on the phone to explain it. I'm Randy Walls, a real estate agent. Okay, we'll send an officer out there when they get there. Okay. Well, the next thing I know, the bantering in Formosan or Asian is going on and on. I have no idea what they're talking about, but it's not a pleasant conversation.